Bullseye and Christy are going to help me today. We're going to be leveling the rim around the pond. That's right, we don't want any external water coming into our pond. I'll explain that over time, but for now it's to keep the sediment from going in, and even in more near term, we don't want any erosion taking away any of that bentonite that we've put in there.
You mean you're going to let me drive a tractor?
Yeah, you're going to be probably the most important part of this operation. You're always...
I was going to say.
What's different than normal?
Yeah.
What we're going to do is we're going to build up the side all the way around, going to use the laser box blade to get it level, perfectly level all the way around. Let's get started. Well, this is what I've got in mind. Just put some dirt here and run this laser blade right along here. I'll probably, as I pack it down, I'll probably need to put some more dirt in sometimes, but that's what I have in mind. Simple enough. And I'm only worried about this first 5-foot strip here to start. We'll worry about grading on out from that either later today, or the sun's already headed downward today, so if we can get this 5-foot strip level all the way around, that'll be a success, in my opinion, today. We may even be next spring before we get some of the rest of the grading done, but we'll see how that goes. I'll run the other tractor a time or two more just to make sure we got all the kinks worked out, and then I'll turn it over to Christy. I think maybe get some of these clods down by tilling a little bit. I happen to have the tiller on from the last project, so. Yeah, I think maybe that'll make it a little bit better. I may need to get another tractor and help with the loader, Christy. I think maybe...
You're adding more than I thought we would be adding.
The high spot on the pond is way over there, and that's what I'm trying to equal. I could have taken some of that off over there, but I thought it would be better to raise it all that high anyway. After you deliver that bucket, how about just tilling the whole section there that we've added?
Okay. We put some pretty big clods down in here.
Yeah, that's why I thought it might be helpful to till it.
Yeah, I may have to come back over it another time.
Won't hurt if you do. Okay, that's far enough. Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, that's looking better.
Yeah. One more trip, what do you think?
Yeah, you can come back the other direction if you want, but this time get a little closer to the pond over here, at least where I'm dumping this dirt. We don't want our area to be too far from the pond. Yeah, that's looking good. You go ahead and move dirt. I'll run along with the blade now, and then we'll see where it goes. You can see that it's working. Maybe you can till some more.
You ask me to till, then you get right in front of me.
Yep. 30 how many years?
31 and a half, buddy.
You should know me by now.
That's true. I'm really enjoying being able to get to do some of the tractor work, but it's a little complicated trying to fly the drone and drive the tractor.
I'm afraid to have you drive the tractor much. I'm afraid I might lose my job. The estimate is that we're filling it at about 6 inches per day. So Christy had estimated 2 weeks. I had estimated 3 days.
I'm right.
I think Christy's going to be closer. This soil looks really good now. It's hard to believe it's the same stuff that was the muck that came out of the pond.
Right. 'Cause that was nasty stuff.
This is the same stuff. I'm in front of you
Get right
again.
in front of me again.
Trying to steal the attention.
Yeah.
I like the look of this when we get it done. I like the level look. Okay, I'd say we're about half done now. When we get some more tilled, I may drag some of the loose tilled soil over this, but I've got it leveled, and the only reason you see any waves in it really is because I packed it down after I dragged it. So when Christy gets some more of this pulverized over here, maybe I'll drag just a little bit of that back. But half done. It's interesting how sometimes we need more than we think we're going to, and other times we don't need as much. Even though we did a pretty good job by eye, it still fools you once in a while. The laser really makes you look silly once in a while. But overall, we've been within, I don't know, three inches or so on the whole thing. And I knew that I was a little bit low, right? I knew that spot right over there was the highest spot. You can actually kind of tell that. But I knew I'd want to raise it all up to that. But other than that, we've been pretty consistent. I want to take just a moment here to talk through this laser. I've talked about it before, but I feel like I've never fully communicated how this laser works and how simple the system really is to hook up. We've got 3 cables that come into the box. One cable goes to power, one cable goes to the hydraulic control, and the third cable goes to the laser receiver itself. Now, you see that I've got 2 boxes, right? One is for lift and the other is to control the tilt. It's much simpler if you have just the lift one and you don't try to hook the tilt up at the same time. More about that in a second. But I have got some comments about, oh, that's way too expensive. You know, it's not even practical. And I'm not sure I understand that. Well, I do from one sense, so let me explain. If you're thinking about this as a personal user, you don't have any chance to use it to make any money, I can see how the $2,500 for the laser system can seem like a good bit of money. So I get that sense. Where I question it is if you compare it to any other grading system out there. And that means by the time you get something to pull it, the tractor, the blade, the laser system, you put all that together, this is a very economical package in my opinion. a lot of the laser blades that you're going to see for bigger equipment, just the blade itself will cost more than the entire system here. So that's how I'm kind of wondering how come people can complain about the price. The power, of course, goes to 12-volt power. The hydraulic control is just a couple of Deutsch connectors, and these are the very same connectors that plug into your third function kit. If you've got a 2R, for instance, it's right there on the third function. A 3R is the same way. I even checked my Kubota LX. It uses the Deutsch connectors too. So if you're using only one of these systems, you can likely use your third function, your on-off third function on your tractor and just run the hydraulic control to it. Now, I typically show it connected to the Summit system, right? It's got the same type of valves as your typical third function kit. I need the Summit because I have two sets, right? I have lift and tilt. That adds another, I don't know, $1,000, something like that. SummitHydraulics.com. Use code TTWT for a 5% discount there. The blade itself, somewhere around $2,000, and you can get one from C5MFG.com. Again, mention TTWT there and you'll get a discount. It'll work with any blade, any pull type box blade, and it needs to be pull type because it needs to be hydraulically controlled. But that's really all there is to it. And so while I get it that it's expensive for a personal use, this is, from my perspective, the least expensive grading system that exists. I don't really know of anything cheaper other than just having Christy hold a stick.
Hey now.
I'm using the laser here to fill, obviously, and before I've used it to cut. It's a different way of thinking for me, and I don't know if I can describe that or not, but I just have to handle the dirt differently. Probably going to sound kind of obvious, but in order to do a good job of filling, I have to have a pile of dirt. I have to keep a pile of dirt with me, extra dirt with me. When I'm cutting, I'm always trying to get rid of that extra dirt. So it's just a different way of thinking. While Christy was inside, I decided to cut a little bit of a swale there. I did not use the laser for that. That's just eyeballed at this point. But I could tell that I needed to get it lower than the pond. Remember, I'm trying to keep the drainage water out of the pond. So I just made a swale right around here with that intent. We'll see how well it works. It's hard to see any grade changes in video, isn't it? But now this is several inches less than the edge of the pond for sure. And yesterday, when I was looking at it, I thought maybe it might only be an inch or so, and I was afraid that a big rain might get water washing up over the top. Now, Christy and I piled this dirt down through here and tilled without having the laser set up, so we may have way too much dirt. I talked to the manufacturer, and they say they have some software updates to maybe keep this thing from hopping as much and as radically at times. That would make me feel better, I suppose, and it would probably make it show a little better. But to be honest, I'm able to get the job done with it like this, so. So I suppose if the hopping makes it look better and makes it a little easier to operate, I'm excited about it. But I'm just saying I can get by with what I've got, so if they improve it, that'll be really nice. I'm going to stop here and turn around and go the other way because I'm nervous that that's real soft there and I don't want to run out of it. It's excess soil. This is an example of what I'm talking about. See, I wanted to save that excess soil because I know I have plenty of soil down there. I don't want to get it all dragged down there and not have anything back here. If I pack this down, I'll need a little. Hope that makes sense.
It's been about 3.5 days since he started filling the pond. He estimated 3 days to the level that he wanted it, and it's not there. I estimated 2 weeks. I think I'm closer. He's turned the water off for now so he can work around the rim here.
I think that's going to be pretty good for that side. I'm doing this by hand. Soil's a little bit muddy, so it's a little bit hard to work with, but it's pretty good. There's a little ripple left in it, but I think I'm going to leave it just like that. This will be fine for the winter. Now this was my reference point right here. So I haven't added any soil right here. That's the intent. I thought that was the high spot, and it has proven to be the case. Canamac.com. Use code TTWT for a 10% discount. I think it's a deal. Obviously, if you're just using it personally, you won't be able to pay for it, I'm sure, but if you're doing any commercial work at all, this is a cost-effective solution. I know I've used this tool a lot more than I thought I would. Now, sometimes you see YouTubers just try to find a project to use a piece of equipment, and I've not had to do that with this one. There's been several things come along that, well, it's just been the best fit for. Sure, if I had a $20,000 GPS system, I'd be using it. I guess I've just got too big of a load. Do you think this weather will last till?
Well, I could wish, but I don't think so. We're going to wake up one day and it's going to be very cold.
In light of that, I'm not biting off any more projects for the pond. This is it.
But this looks great. It's going to be so much better mowing around the pond now than it was before.
Hope so, yeah. We'll show that next year. We got this little swale created. We've got it level all the way around the top. We would like to run around it with a power rake and, you know, do some final work like that. But I'm not even going to worry about this winter. I'm just going to let it be muddy. We don't have time to get grass growing.
No.
I don't think we're going to have much erosion because we're trying to fill the pond. How's that filling going?
I'm closer to being correct than you are.
I don't think that's the first time that's happened.
Won't be the last.
I would say we have got about, I'd say 2.5 feet in the pond total. And of course, a foot of that or so was already there before we started filling. So over 3 days, we've filled about 2 feet, I would say, maybe close to that. So,
and it has not affected anything in the house that I can tell.
No, we're pumping 24/7. through the 5/8 hose, 300 feet of 5/8 hose. So that's limiting the flow. So,
Yes.
we started to buy that 3/4 inch hose as we talked about in a prior episode, but we have more fall projects to do, and so we're going to leave this alone for now. We'll keep you updated on the filling. We're not going to try to fill it full, just part way. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time on Tractor Time with Tim.
The path of the righteous is level. You, the upright one, make the way of the righteous smooth.
I'm Christy. I got some tractor time this time.
You got some tractor time.
Yeah. Bullseye, what do you think of the pond? Oh, he heard a tractor. He's like, I need to go. Yeah, okay.